What's up, everybody? We are about to get into this trailer reaction of FX new series, Alien Earth. Alien Earth follows a young woman and a group of technical soldiers who discover a crashed space vessel on Earth, leading them to face a terrifying alien threat. Now, the series is set in 2120, 2 years before the events of the original Alien film. Now, what I read to you was one of the synopses that was off of Google about the series. But watching the trailer, it looks like it's completely something else. It looks like more foolishness that's being brought into the Alien universe and the franchise as a whole, and it's very disappointing. This franchise has been trying to find its footing for a long time. The commercial success, the critical acclaim, and with the cultural importance of the first Alien and with the sequel Aliens, this franchise has basically just been trying to chase a ghost for almost the last 30 years. Later, with them doing a film like Alien 3, even though it's pretty mixed among the fan base, and I know critics didn't like it when it came out, but me personally, I enjoyed it. I used to watch it a lot when I was younger. I still go back to watch it for certain performances and sequences throughout the movie. Resurrection is a bad film, but it can be fun depending on how you look at it with certain things. It's a cool cast of characters in the movie. It's just a bad film overall. And then years later, you have Ridley Scott coming back to the franchise to introduce Prometheus, and which is basically the germ of what Alien is, but didn't stick the landing, bad writing, stupid scientists, and just trying to over-explain the universe as a whole, which is one of the issues that this franchise has been having over the last few years. You know, sometimes it's better just to leave it to your imagination of where these xenomorphs came from, the home world, the idea of the space jockeys that you get introduced in the first Alien film, and like I said, they go back and reintroduce them in Prometheus, and they want to over-explain the origins of everything, and sometimes it's just better left to your imagination and just trying to understand, you know, these what ifs and these scenarios that you may have in your head compared to them actually showing you everything. Because later in Alien Covenant, I guess we learn and discover that the android David is basically the godfather and the creator of the xenomorph at its earliest stage. Goes back to the last point I just said, that we don't need you guys to explain every single thing that happened in this universe. It was better left as a mystery. Alien Romulus had this same issue. It was a mix between, they wanted to do the original Alien film mixed with ideas from Prometheus, and then we got the film that we had. Aesthetically, it looked good. The production was fabulous. I did like a few things in the movie, but overall, that was a terrible movie as well, being introduced into the franchise. Which leads me into Alien Earth. I know they have always played around with the idea of the xenomorph and the alien just being on Earth. I know they originally tried to write a script with the original Alien 3 film that came out in 92, but they went through rewrites and it went through development hell, and then, you know, eventually we got the film that we got by David Fincher. Originally with that film, it was going to be with the aliens crashing on Earth after the events of Alien 2, but with this show, this is basically going to be the very beginning of how everything started, and after watching the trailer, it really doesn't make sense. So when the trailer starts, we get introduced to a young girl. She's on the table, and it looks like that she's going to, I guess, get her body transferred over into a android. Kind of makes me think about Weyland from the Prometheus films when we are finally introduced to him, and this idea of him trying to look for the engineers, figure out how he can live forever and have this immortality. I guess they're going to play with the concept of that even with the androids, and maybe we're going to get a better understanding of why the androids was even created for. And in the next scene, we see this spaceship crashing into the city. I guess, I don't know if it is Weyland or whoever is in charge talking about, I want what is on that ship. Then we see the young girl who, I guess she's in her android body now, stating that, oh, well, whatever is on the ship, we can get it. Saying her and her crew saying, oh, we are strong, we are fast, we don't break. I don't care what you say you can do, I want you to show it. Like, there's this thing that they do in trailers, which I cannot stand, where they try to just tell you what they can do instead of showing you. And then when they do show her crew, I'm just thinking, y'all ain't gonna make it. Ain't none of y'all gonna make it. Like, y'all want me to believe this is the crew that y'all have assembled to go in and handle this matter? No, I don't believe it, not for 1 second. And you got this guy who's saying, oh, they have caught the 5 creatures from the darkest parts of the universe. Yeah, sure, that's just fantastic. And your bright idea was to bring them back to Earth. Yeah, right, okay, yeah, sure, right, I got you. And then, the rest of the trailer plays out. They talks about, we have these predatory creatures doing their little experiments and everything. Of course, something is going to get loose, if not one, if not all 5 of them. And I guess you're going to see the mutation stage of how they become a xenomorph or whatever they're going to turn into. I hope they all get wiped out. I hope nobody survives in this show. And, just to give my overall final thoughts, I mean, look, you can tell I'm not really too much sold on this trailer at all. It's basically Prometheus, aliens, and just all the bad stuff that people have been complaining about for the longest time, wrapped up in a TV show. But instead of being in space, they on Earth, or I'm gonna say Earth for this one right here. They're probably gonna keep on playing with the same concept of them trying to play God, create these creatures. They're gonna try to find a way to control it. They're trying to weaponize it, and they can't do it. They can't do it in this. They haven't done it in any other movies. And at this point, I'm just sick of the Weyland Company. First, you probably used to think they were so dangerous and calculating, and they're trying to get a hold of this thing and they're going to weaponize it. But after watching the previous films and the way they introduce Weyland and how they just show the company itself, they're idiots. They don't have a clue what they're doing or what they're dealing with. And you would figure, if you look at the timeline of how everything has played out, because essentially it's been probably almost close to 500 years if you do time gaps and everything else. Y'all still ain't figured out how to get a hold of this thing and weaponize it and use it the way that you want to. You haven't done it by now. That means that you weren't meant to have it or use it. Which kind of segues into my last point about using and having things. I know Disney acquired this through 20th Century Fox when they had their merger, and I just don't have any faith in them or in this. Now, I could be wrong. This may surprise me. This may surprise a lot of people. If I go by history, and especially if history repeats itself, it's just going to be another disappointment and a failure. And thank you guys for listening to this review. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. It helps out with the algorithm. If this is your first time coming to the channel, I hope you enjoyed this review, and you can go on the channel and look at other content that we have on here. The latest, not just trailer reactions, but movie reviews, TV reviews, and reactions to other things, while bringing you the latest news and entertainment with film and television. Like I said, if you enjoy the content on this page, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date and get all the new reviews that are going to be coming out. AR Movie Memos again. Thank you for coming to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next review.